when you see people who come to take a risk and work with us, when they move on to something else, they're in a much better place with far more experience, much stronger repertoire of practice and an understanding of what it is to have super high moments but also fail forward.
Hello and welcome to the Pathway to Impact podcast series. My name is Madeleine Arkins. I'm a Research Project Officer at UIIN and your host for today. During the 2023 conference, we invited Anita Kocsis, Director of the Design Factory Melbourne from Swinburne University of Technology, to delve into the remarkable world of the Design Factory and its global network. In this conversation, we look at the secrets behind their success, the art of collaboration, the enchantment of structured serendipity, and the boundless possibilities of cross-disciplinary work. Join us as we discover how these principles fuel groundbreaking innovation and shape the future of creative problem solving. I'm joined with Anita, Director of the Design Factory Melbourne from Swinburne University of Technology. Thanks, Anita.
Hello.
Starting off, I know the global network of the Design Factory is really intrinsic to all its success, those sort of collaborations. Could you tell me more about how collaborations factor in the work of Design Factory?
Yes, they do. Quick recap. Design Factory Melbourne got to become part of the Design Factory Global Network since sort of 2011, maybe even a little earlier. That started at Aalto University, and then from there the passion for collaboration, co-creation, change-making, innovation catalysts has grown in this infectious rate now to I think 40 other innovation labs, hubs, research centres with their own special, unique flavour according to them. That network is a trust network. It is a well understood way of working, which makes collaboration across cultures, disciplines, expectations and agendas with different industry partners far more realistic and easy. So we are only as good as each other and our collaboration opportunity and also that network.
One thing that I myself find very fascinating is the emphasis on co-creation in all that Design Factory do. What kind of are the principles of co-creation that you use or that guide you in your work at Design Factory?
Our Design Factory's DNA grew out of design thinking, design practice, and more recently the term applied innovation is something we're more comfortable with. But if you think about it, every time Design Factory team members are involved in projects, we're known to sprinkle the glitter magically in the room, which in real practice, co-creation is hard work in being able to bring together people in teams to understand shared meaning, to come out with some sort of shared solution. And we use tools such as prototyping and structured serendipity opportunities in terms of the space and the place, really to offer people an opportunity to focus, to feel brave, to say those things and undertake activities which are very important parts of the conditions for innovation, and co-creation is fundamental to that.
I'm very interested about the term structured serendipity. Could you say more about
that's our special sauce. Structured serendipity, I believe, is really about making the opportunities for our students, our researchers, our industry partners, really offering ways, just like these two chairs are here together. If we structure a room in such a way where you're forced to connect in ways instead of lining up, those two differences, or making pasta or icebreakers or these sorts of things in terms of methods, in terms of teamwork is one thing, but also the spaces and places in terms of the labs. Our labs are always offering up messy spaces, they're movable, and so wherever we can, we structure high touch points, high opportunities for people to connect in reinforcing a low hierarchy environment. So if you're a student sitting at a kitchen bench next to a CEO, for us, that's where the magic happens, and we structure that so it is serendipitous, but it is also structured, and that's part of underpinning our co-creation methodology, if you like.
Okay, and I'd say that probably ties into how you really push the boundaries of cross-disciplinary work too.
Yeah, because my mental model of an apple and yours are very different right now, I'm sure. But until we actually get together and manifest that, even if we draw it or make a shape of it or prototype it through clay or sticky notes or whatever, that kind of capacity to be able to communicate that information is really key. Once we actually can have some, if you like, tools or structured manifested objects or artifacts, that helps people from different disciplines be able to communicate. Because if you're a mathematician or if you're an architect, you'll bring your own agenda and your own repertoires of practice and your own ways of thinking. And things like prototyping or other creative methods that we use help break down those barriers to be able to communicate more universally, which enables interdisciplinary or cross-disciplinary communication more quickly and more seamlessly.
And the Design Factory is over 10 years old now?
Yeah, Design Factory Melbourne is over 10 years now, and same with Alto Design Factory. So we've been, if you like, drinking the Kool-Aid around the value of co-creation and interdisciplinary industry engaged work because, yeah, it's been a long time. It takes a long time to grow from a startup to something that is quite a central feature and quite a force to be reckoned with, we believe.
How the work of Design Factory aligns with the general mission of Swinburne University of Technology, was that kind of a difficult transition?
I think it's a very good question, actually. We now have shifted to a central feature in the innovation and enterprise portfolio, and we are one of the people that bring the pulse or the life to and know-how around co-creation efforts, and we're able to interact with the business development team, with the commercialization team, with the B2B and B2C executive training team, and of course our wonderful hub and interface to all of the broader community that makes up a university. So we help foster, facilitate, really show that doing things that are not the norm isn't so scary.
We discussed already the flat hierarchy, the spatial of how things are organised at Design Factory. How do you feel that those strategies and approaches that you employ foster greater innovation?
I think I need to preface it with what's on the brochure is really difficult in practice. So for people who come from academia and or professional staff, or as I'm presenting in this conference, what I'm calling third space innovators, who are those hybrids, do take a leap of faith and they do take a chance to consider this other model of collaboration. And I think that's really high risk, but I believe high reward at the end of the day. But it does take time, it is circuitous, and I feel in my experience of hiring people and working with people are attracted to this otherness, this something else through innovation labs like ours.
The term third space innovators I like a lot also. You guys came out with a book in...
about a long time ago.
This was a long time ago. This was with Alto
But
Design House.
Alto Design Factory published that book,
Okay.
Looking at passion-based co-creation.
Yes.
Known lovingly through the Design Factory Global Network as the Purple Book. And hopefully one day we get to build the Orange Book or the Unicorn Book, as others have discussed. And that is a fantastic resource. And when we look back at it now, it's still really relevant. And what it does, it really helps to demystify. Apart from there are plenty of texts out there there are lots of recipe methods type books on how to do innovation. But what makes this book so invaluable is that it's based in real cases and it speaks to the challenges, and it's a warts and all, if you like, testimony that's very simply written, clearly written, and tries to be jargon free.
Which is key in this line of work.
Yeah, because that innovation word, it's a tricky one.
Yeah. I was going to ask if there were any other notable projects or achievements in the last 10 plus years of Design Factory that you think are key to your journey to this point.
If I think about our portfolio of achievements, I think the first one are the people. I think something that I really try and encourage, that I see myself as the custodian of the Design Factory Melbourne, and that I would hope to think that when you see people who come to take a risk and work with us, when they move on to something else, they're in a much better place with far more experience, much stronger repertoire of practice, and an understanding of what it is to have super high moments but also fail forward. So to me, the biggest achievement are the people. The other achievements, of course, are the 100 plus and I'm not going to name names because if I name one, then I don't name another, but industry partners who have also come with us along the journey and taken that dive, either bringing their industry questions to student projects or being solved by our R&D, innovation services team. And they can be quite small on how do I stop a leaking caravan to how do I help socialise a community to understand the role and value of hydrogen technologies. Our projects are very varied, and our focus really is at that very early stage of the innovation pipeline. And we spend that time there because we help mitigate risk, and we don't want to end up people rushing. Everyone wants to get to the shiny solution stage, but we find our work with our industry partners and our research, the value is really at that very early stage of the innovation pipeline.
Okay, very interesting. Great. Thanks, Anita.
That was good.
Thank you for listening to the discussion. Follow UIN on LinkedIn, and if you're enjoying our podcast, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on your podcast platform of choice to help others find this content too.